April 5th, 1925. Asheville, North Carolina. Yankees spring training camp. Ruth does not show up for morning practice. Teammates are worried. Ruth never misses practice. Never. His hotel room is checked. Ruth is in bed. Cannot move, cannot speak. His forehead is burning with fever. Call an ambulance, now! He is rushed to the hospital. Doctors cannot make a diagnosis. Stomach pain, appendicitis, ulcer, poisoning. They run tests, draw blood, take x-rays. Nothing is clear. But Ruth is getting worse. Fast. April 6th. Ruth slips into a coma. Fever spikes to 106 degrees. Doctors consider surgery, but it is too risky. Ruth's body might not survive. His wife Linda arrives from New York, sits by his bedside, holds his hand, prays. The hand is cold, too cold. Ruth's breathing is shallow, irregular. Each breath sounds like it could be his last. The lead doctor, Dr. Edward King, examines Ruth again, feels his abdomen. Ruth's body jerks in pain, even though he is unconscious. There is something wrong inside, Dr. King tells Linda. Something serious, an abscess, an infection, internal bleeding. I cannot tell without surgery. But surgery right now would kill him. His body is too weak. What do we do? Linda asks. Her voice is shaking. She is 26 years old, married to Ruth for only 2 years, and now watching him die. We wait, Dr. King says. We hope his body fights this. We hope the fever breaks. We hope he wakes up. That is all we can do right now. April 7th. Ruth has a seizure. His entire body convulses. Nurses try to hold him down. Doctors administer medication. Nothing works. The seizure lasts 3 minutes. Feels like 3 hours. When it finally stops, Ruth is still unconscious. But now his breathing is even worse. Ragged, gasping, like drowning. Yankees management in New York receives updates every hour. They are terrified, not just for Ruth's life, for their business. Ruth is the Yankees. Ruth fills the stadium. Ruth sells tickets. Ruth is worth millions. If Ruth dies, the Yankees franchise collapses. They send telegrams to the hospital. Spare no expense. Get the best doctors. Do whatever it takes. Save him. But money cannot save Ruth. Only his body can, and his body is failing. April 8th. The media goes insane. Ruth's condition becomes national news. Radio stations give hourly updates. Newspapers print extra editions. Is Ruth dying? America's hero fights for his life. Yankees star in critical condition. People across America stop what they are doing to listen to radio updates. Factory workers, office employees, farmers, housewives. Everyone wants to know if Babe Ruth will survive. Churches hold prayer vigils. Thousands of people praying for a man they have never met. But a man who represents something bigger than baseball, joy, excitement, the American dream, a poor kid from an orphanage who became the most famous athlete in the world. If Ruth can die at 30 years old, what hope is there for anyone? April 9th, midnight. Doctors call Linda into a private room. Dr. King's face is grave. Mrs. Ruth, you need to prepare yourself. Your husband's condition is deteriorating. We have done everything medically possible, but his body is not responding. The infection is spreading. The fever will not break. I do not believe he will survive until morning. Linda collapses into a chair, cannot breathe, cannot think. There must be something, she begs. Some treatment, some medicine, something. There is nothing, Dr. King says gently. I am sorry. His organs are shutting down. We are losing him. Yankees management begins planning a press conference to announce Ruth's death. Newspapers prepare obituaries. Radio stations write scripts for the announcement. Everyone is waiting for the inevitable. But at 6 a.m., something impossible happens. Ruth opens his eyes. For the first time in 4 days. His vision is blurry. The room is spinning, but he is conscious, aware. A nurse notices, screams, "Doctor! Dr. King! He is awake!" Dr. King rushes in, cannot believe what he is seeing. "Mr. Wall? Ruth? Can you hear me?" Ruth's voice is barely a whisper, dry, cracked. Where am I?" "You are in the hospital, Mr. Ruth. You have been very sick." "How long?" 4 days." Ruth tries to sit up, cannot. His body is too weak. Every muscle aches. His stomach feels like it is being stabbed with knives. But he is alive, conscious, fighting. "Send message to Yankees," Ruth whispers. Tell them I am coming back. Tell them to wait for me." The news of Ruth's awakening spreads instantly. Radio stations interrupt regular programming. "Babe, Ruth regains consciousness. Miracle in Asheville. Ruth survives the night." But the celebration is premature. Ruth is conscious. But he is not recovering. Not yet. He is still in critical condition, still in severe pain, still unable to eat, unable to walk. Unable to do anything but lie in bed and suffer. Dr. King examines him thoroughly. The diagnosis is finally clear. Intestinal abscess, a pocket of infection in Ruth's intestines, caused by years of poor diet, excessive drinking, no sleep, constant stress on his body. The abscess has ruptured, leaked poison into his system. That is what caused the fever, the seizures, the near-death experience. "You need surgery," Dr. King tells Ruth. "We need to drain the abscess, clean the infection, repair the damage. But I must be honest with you. The surgery is extremely dangerous. Your body is weak. You have lost significant weight. Your organs are stressed. There is a real possibility you will not survive the operation." Ruth does not hesitate. "Do it. Do the surgery. I am not dying in this bed. Either I die fighting or I live fighting. But I am not giving up." The surgery is scheduled for April 12th, 3 days away. Ruth needs to gain some strength first, needs to be able to survive the procedure. For 3 days he forces himself to eat. Small amounts, broth, bread, water, everything hurts. Every swallow feels like swallowing glass. But he eats, because he has to, because the alternative is death. April 12th, surgery day, 7 a.m. Ruth is wheeled into the operating room. Linda kisses him goodbye, tries not to cry, fails. "I will see you when you wake up," she says. Ruth manages a weak smile. "You better. I did not survive this long just to die on the table." The surgery lasts 4 hours. Dr. King and 2 other surgeons work carefully, precisely. Ruth's intestines are worse than expected. The abscess has caused significant damage. Tissue is dying. Infection is everywhere. They drain the abscess, remove damaged tissue, clean everything they can reach, stitch him back together. Hope it is enough. When Ruth is wheeled out of surgery, Dr. King speaks to Linda. "The surgery was successful. We removed the infection. But the next 48 hours are critical. If his body can handle the trauma of the surgery, if infection does not return, if his organs continue functioning, he has a chance. But I want to be clear, Mrs. Ruth. Even if he survives, his baseball career is over. The damage to his body is too severe. He has lost 40 pounds. His intestines are compromised. His overall health is destroyed. He might live a normal life eventually. But he will never play professional baseball again. That part of his life is finished." April 14th. 48 hours after surgery. Ruth is still alive. Fever has not returned. Infection seems controlled. Doctors are cautiously optimistic about his survival, but pessimistic about everything else. Dr. King speaks to Ruth directly now. "Mr. Ruth, You are going to live. That is the good news. But we need to discuss your future." "What about it?" Ruth asks. His voice is still weak, but stronger than before. "You cannot play baseball anymore. Your body will not allow it. The physical demands of the sport, the running, the hitting, the strain, your intestines cannot handle it. One wrong movement could cause another rupture, another infection. Next time, you might not survive." Ruth listens, says nothing. "Do you understand what I am telling you?" Dr. King presses. "Your career as a baseball player is over. You are 30 years old. You have had an incredible run. You have broken records, made millions, become famous. But it is time to accept reality. Find a new path. Maybe coaching, maybe business. But playing? That is finished." Ruth looks at Dr. King. "How long until I can leave this hospital?" 6 weeks minimum, maybe 8. You need to heal, regain strength, learn to walk again. And after that, after I leave, after that you rest, you recover, you adjust to your new life. "No," Ruth says quietly. "After that, I play baseball." Dr. King tries to argue, tries to explain the medical impossibility, but Ruth is not listening. In his mind, the decision is made. He is playing baseball again. The only question is when, not if, when. The next 6 weeks are brutal. Ruth forces himself to heal, to recover. Every day is agony. Physical therapy, learning to walk, building back muscle, eating when he has no appetite, pushing through pain that makes him want to scream. Visitors come, Yankees, teammates, management, reporters. Everyone says the same thing. Take your time. Do not rush. Your health is what matters. But Ruth hears what they are not saying. You are done. You are finished. We are moving on without you. This makes him angrier, more determined, more focused. May 20th. 6 weeks after surgery, Ruth checks himself out of the hospital, against doctor's orders. Dr. King tries to stop him. You are not ready. You need more time. I have had enough time, Ruth says. I am going home. I am training. I am playing baseball. You will kill yourself. Maybe, but I would rather die playing than live not playing. Ruth returns to New York. The city is shocked by his appearance. He has lost 40 pounds. His face is gaunt. His skin is pale. He looks like a ghost. Newspapers run photos. The headlines are brutal. Ruth's shocking appearance. Is this the end of the Bambino? Once mighty Ruth, now broken. Ruth ignores all of it. Starts training immediately. Cannot run. Cannot swing a bat properly. Cannot do anything a baseball player needs to do. But he tries. Every day. Pushing, failing, trying again. Yankees management watches nervously. They have written him off. Already making plans for 1926 without Ruth. Already looking for his replacement. The 1925 season is underway. Yankees are struggling. Without Ruth, they are mediocre, average, boring. Attendance is down. Revenue is down. The team is dying without their star. June 1st. Ruth tells management he is ready to play. They laugh, not cruelly, just disbelief. Babe, you can barely walk. You cannot play professional baseball. Put me in a game. Let me try. If I fail, I fail, but let me try. Against all logic, management agrees. Maybe out of desperation, maybe out of respect, maybe because they have nothing to lose. Ruth is activated for a game on June 1st against the Red Sox, his first game since April. The stadium is packed, 50,000 people. Everyone wants to see if the rumors are true, if Babe Ruth is really trying to play, if this is a comeback or a funeral. Ruth walks to the plate for his first at-bat. The crowd is silent, nervous, waiting. He looks terrible, thin, weak. Nothing like the powerful Babe Ruth they remember. If you are invested in this incredible comeback story and want to see how it ends, make sure to subscribe to never miss these legendary sports moments. And comment below. What would you have done in Ruth's position? Would you have listened to the doctors or fought to play? Let me know. First pitch. Fastball. Ruth swings, misses badly. His swing is slow, weak, uncoordinated. Strike one. The crowd groans. This is painful to watch. Second pitch. Curveball. Ruth watches it. Strike two. He looks confused, lost, like he does not know where he is. Third pitch. Fastball down the middle. Ruth swings, connects, but weakly. Ground ball to second base. Easy out. Ruth jogs to first, or tries to jog. It looks more like stumbling. The crowd is silent. This is not Babe Ruth. This is a shadow, a broken man pretending to be something he no longer is. Ruth plays 5 games in June, gets 4 hits, no home runs, no extra base hits, just weak singles. He is struggling. Everyone can see it. Newspapers call for him to retire. Ruth should hang up his cleats. Watching Ruth fail is tragic. The Bambino is finished. Yankees management considers benching him permanently, letting him retire with dignity, but Ruth refuses. I am not quitting. I just need time. I just need to get my strength back. July. Ruth plays more, still struggling. Batting average is .250, no power, no speed. He is a liability. The team plays better when he is not in the lineup. But he keeps playing, keeps pushing, keeps refusing to accept what everyone else knows. He is done. August. Something starts to change, slowly. Ruth's strength is returning. His swing is getting faster. His timing is improving. He hits a double, then another, then a triple. The crowd starts to believe. Maybe, just maybe. August 20th. Ruth hits his first home run since April. The crowd erupts. Not because it is a particularly impressive home run, but because it proves he can still do it, still has that power, still has that magic. Ruth rounds the bases, slower than before, but smiling, really smiling, for the first time in months. September. Ruth is heating up. He hits 5 home runs in September, drives in 15 runs. His batting average climbs to .290. Not great by his standards, but respectable. The Yankees do not make the playoffs, finish 7th in the league, their worst season in years. Ruth's final statistics for 1925 are terrible. 25 home runs, 66 RBIs, .290 average, his worst season since becoming a full-time player. But he played. After doctors said he never would, after everyone wrote him off, after his body nearly killed him, he played. The 1925 season ends. Ruth goes home, reflects on what happened. The illness, the surgery, the comeback, the struggle. He realizes something. His lifestyle nearly killed him. The drinking, the partying, the late nights, the poor diet. He got away with it in his 20s, but at 30, his body said enough. If he wants to keep playing, he needs to change, needs to take care of himself, needs to treat his body like the valuable instrument it is. October 1925. Ruth makes a decision. He hires a personal trainer, a nutritionist, a physical therapist. He creates a training regimen. Strict diet, regular sleep, controlled drinking, focused workouts. For the first time in his career, he treats baseball like a profession. Not just a game, a profession that requires discipline, sacrifice, commitment. Winter, 1925-1926. Ruth trains harder than he ever has, builds back muscle, gains healthy weight. Improves his conditioning. By spring training 1926, he is transformed, not just physically, mentally. He is focused, determined, hungry. angry at everyone who said he was finished, ready to prove them wrong. April 1926. New season, Ruth's first at-bat, first pitch, fastball. Ruth swings. The sound is back. That thunderous crack. The ball rockets toward right field, over the wall. Home run. The old Babe Ruth is back. May 1926. Ruth is dominating, hitting home runs at a record pace, driving in runs, leading the Yankees. The team is winning again. Attendance is up. Revenue is up. The Yankees are alive again. June 1926. Ruth has already hit 20 home runs, on pace for a massive season. Newspapers that called for his retirement are now praising his comeback. Ruth's miraculous return. The Bambino is back. Greatest comeback in sports history. September 1926. Yankees make the playoffs, face the Cardinals in the World Series. Ruth hits 300 in the series, 3 home runs. Yankees lose in 7 games. But Ruth proved something more important than winning. He proved he could come back, could recover, could be great again. The 1927 season, Ruth's revenge season, he hits 60 home runs, breaking his own record, shattering what everyone thought was possible. The 60 home runs are not just numbers, they are a statement, a response to everyone who said he was finished, to every doctor who said he would never play again, to every newspaper that wrote his obituary, to everyone who doubted. 60 home runs, each one a middle finger to death, to illness, to limitation. Each one proof that the human spirit can overcome the human body. Each one a testament to willpower, to determination, to refusing to accept other people's definitions of possible. Years later in 1946, a reporter asked Ruth about 1925, about the illness, the surgery, the comeback. "That was the year I died and came back to life," Ruth said. "Not literally, but close enough. My body quit on me, told me it was done, told me I had pushed too far, and for a while I believed it. I thought maybe everyone was right, maybe I was finished, maybe 30 years old was too old, maybe my lifestyle had caught up with me." "What changed your mind?" the reporter asked. "I got angry," Ruth said simply. "Angry at the doctors for telling me what I could not do, angry at the newspapers for writing me off, angry at my own body for betraying me. And I decided that anger was fuel, that I would use it to prove everyone wrong, to show that being told you cannot do something is the best motivation to do it anyway." "Do you regret not listening to the doctors, not taking more time to recover?" "Hell no," Ruth laughed. "If I had listened to them, I would have quit. Would have missed 1926, missed 1927, missed 60 home runs, missed the greatest years of my career. The doctors were wrong. My body was stronger than they thought. My will was stronger than they imagined. And baseball got 5 more years of Babe Ruth because I did not listen." The illness of 1925 became known as the bellyache heard around the world. Not a dignified name, not a serious name, but a name that captured the public's fascination with Ruth's suffering and recovery. The true medical details remained mysterious. Doctors said intestinal abscess. Newspapers speculated about everything from food poisoning to venereal disease to alcohol poisoning. Ruth never clarified, never explained exactly what happened, just said he got sick and got better. That was enough. What mattered was not the diagnosis. What mattered was the response, the refusal to quit, the determination to come back, the willingness to risk everything rather than accept a safe, diminished existence. Ruth could have retired in 1925, could have taken the doctor's advice, could have lived a long, comfortable life as a former baseball player. But that was not Babe Ruth. Ruth was a fighter, a risk-taker, someone who pushed limits, who refused to accept boundaries, who believed that limits were suggestions, not laws. April the 9th, 1925. Doctors stood around Ruth's hospital bed and said, "You will never play baseball again." They believed it. They meant it. They were trying to be kind, trying to help Ruth accept reality. But they were wrong. Not about the medical facts. The damage to Ruth's body was real. The recovery was supposed to be impossible. But they were wrong about Ruth. Wrong about his will. Wrong about his refusal to accept their verdict. 60 days later, Ruth was back on a baseball field, struggling, failing, but playing. And 2 years later, Ruth hit 60 home runs, proving that sometimes the greatest achievements come not from talent, not from natural ability, but from the absolute refusal to let other people define what you can and cannot do. That is the legacy of 1925, not the illness, the comeback. Not the doctors saying, "You will never play again," but Babe Ruth saying, "Watch me," and then doing exactly what everyone said was impossible. That is why he is a legend, not just because of the home runs, because of the refusal to quit, the determination to prove doubters wrong, the willingness to risk death rather than accept a life without the thing he loved. April 1925. Babe Ruth nearly died. Doctors declared his career over. But 60 days later, he was playing baseball, and 2 years later, he was making history. Because some people cannot be stopped, can only be delayed, and Babe Ruth was one of those people.